Mr. Authentic with the Gridiron Collective, bringing you our NFL Week 13 free 3 against the spread picks. Last week we bounced back in a big way, coming back from a terrible Week 11. We ended up going 3-0, cleaning house on Turkey Day, making up for our debacle in the previous week. It was as if we took a giant fucking eraser and got rid of that week completely. I'm not going to remember it, and neither should you. Let's have a look at how awesome we did last week. Our first play, we had the Bears over the Lions -3. Trubisky was out, but the Bears managed to walk away with the victory behind their nasty defense, which in my opinion is why their record is what it is to date. People can say what they want about Mitchell Trubisky, but the Bears defense is where the real shine is at. I did have a backup play in mind in case I wanted to back out on the Bears play due to the injury of Trubisky. However, after a little bit of thought and very little deliberation, I gave myself a slap back in reality, realizing that yes, the Bears defense is for real, and yes, the Lions offense without Kerryon Johnson is nothing. The Bears took the ball from Stafford over and over again, and it was a beautiful sight to see while eating that perfectly cooked turkey. Our second play of the week was another game on Thanksgiving where the Saints faced off against the Falcons, the falling Falcons. They've continuously been choking and losing, that we were almost certain that the Saints were going to cover 2 touchdowns, and they absolutely destroyed the Falcons. The Falcons had no chance. I feel bad for Falcons fans having Matt Ryan as their quarterback. He throws for a lot of yards but doesn't ever seem to do anything as far as winning goes. They had the one season. I mean, really, he does enough to make you want him to stick around and be on your team, but he doesn't do enough to get you over the hump and be an elite team. I feel bad for them because they're going to be stuck with him for a while. Third and final play of the week, we took the New England Patriots over the New York Jets at -10.5. All I heard all week long was how terrible the Patriots are against the Jets as far as their ATS record is concerned. However, I don't know the statistics of what the Patriots record is coming off of a bye week against the spread, or if the Jets have ever faced off against a Patriots team coming off a bye week. You know, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, they're going to have the team prepared. Everybody's going to be ready. And that's what exactly we banked on, them being ready. And after an embarrassing loss to Tennessee, they should be looking to bounce back against the Jets. They did. I almost believe that they didn't even really prepare too much for the Jets, to be honest, with how easily they were able to walk away with the win in that game. Their eyes might be set on the matchup this coming week against the Minnesota Vikings. I could see Belichick spending a lot more time game planning against the Vikings than he did against the New York Jets. So look for the Patriots to come out and surprise the Vikings. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, and we aren't giving that away as an official play just yet, but we will see. So let's get on to this week's free 3 and see if we can improve this record even that much more. Our first play, we're going to go with the Broncos over the Bengals at -4.5. I think the Broncos finally get a break that we've been needing after a brutal schedule, and all these teams coming on these hot streaks. They're playing great. They're playing their best football. They got to come in, and they play Denver, and it's just been an unlucky schedule so far. Plus, the offense has finally just started to click. It seems as though that the Bill Musgrave has finally decided that, yes, Philip Lindsay needs to have more carries. And when Philip Lindsay has over 70 or 75 yards, something like that, we're 5-0. Give the kid the ball. Let him run. The Bengals are dead last as far as defense goes, and with the loss of Andy Dalton, we should see the Bengals reeling and continue to struggle as the Broncos try to push towards a playoff berth. I'm very hopeful that we will do so, but I'm not going to count all my eggs yet. The Bengals defense is last. They're awful about everything. Don't let the 6-4 ATS record fool you. The Bengals team is garbage. The Broncos are riding high on a 2-game winning streak, and they should extend the win streak by dismantling the Bengals team. The Broncos will be the dagger in the Bengals' playoff hopes and dreams. While I've noticed the Broncos give up a lot of yards, we don't allow much scoring and have done well slowing down teams such as the Chiefs, the Rams, Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. I can see the Broncos winning the game by over 2 touchdowns as Lindsey runs wild, carrying the offense. And this one's a wrap, folks. The Broncos will win big against Cincinnati. Second play, we're going to take the Saints over the Dallas Cowboys at -7.5. The Saints have been a perfect 5-0 in their last 5 games against the spread. Dallas is 5-2 in their last 7 games against the spread. Both teams have been playing well as far as the spread is concerned. Cowboys defense, more specifically, DeMarcus Lawrence has been running his mouth about the Saints, talking about how they have not played anyone like them. Well, no, they haven't. And this will be their first and only matchup because Dallas is not making the playoffs. Seattle will make the playoffs over Dallas. If you look at their remaining schedule, you'll see what I mean. It's about time that Dallas comes back down to reality and gets smacked around a little bit by the Saints offense. Dallas, when facing offenses that are even subpar, Dallas gives up a lot. So just look for Saints to take advantage of mismatches all over the board. I don't see the Dallas Cowboys being able to make enough plays in this game. Saints don't turn the ball over, and that's where Dallas kind of capitalizes on things. Saints and Drew Brees should have no problem scoring at will on this Dallas defense, and Dallas will not be able to keep up at all with this high-flying Saints offense. For our third play, we're going to go with the Seahawks over the 49ers -10, kind of going hand in hand as what I said before about the Dallas team falling down while the Seattle Seahawks team rises up. I watched as McCoy, JPP, Nazib, and Vita V is just feasted on Mullins in that 49ers O-line. And quick release or not, the kid is not getting enough time. He just it looks all bad in San Francisco. They're beat up all across the board. It's an extremely down year for a team that had such high expectations going into the season. The only other team doing worse, in my opinion, is 35 miles up the 880. San Francisco has been terrible. ATS 1-4. Seattle has been a solid 5-1-1. Frank Clark is going to get after in this game. I think he's going to at least get a couple sacks on Mullins. Mullins will find himself under pressure for most of the game. I don't see any which way in which the 49ers team can compete against this playoff-bound Seahawks team. As mentioned earlier, I believe the Seahawks continue making their run as Dallas will fall down, having Seahawks in the playoffs when it's all said and done. Even if Matt Breida runs for 200 yards against the Seahawks, I still see this a very lopsided game. Jameis Winston looked good against the 49ers, and as much as it appears he's forgotten how to run athletically, he still was able to pick up yards on the ground against the 49ers defense. Russell Wilson will have a much, much easier time picking up huge chunks whenever he feels necessary to extend drives on third downs. They are going to steamroll this 49ers team and win easily, covering the 10-point spread. Once again, thanks for tuning in. I am Mr. Authentic. This is the Gridiron Collective. You can check us out on gridironcollective.com, or you can go to cappertech.com. That's CAPPERTEK.com. And you can look us up, Gridiron Collective. All the links are below in the description, along with the recap of our picks. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you this week.